Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing a review of TMNT Naruto. This was sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you as always, brother. And yes, I did. He sent it to me yesterday. I finished it in the matter of, in the span of that time because I really wanted to get this crossover out. So yeah, we're going to be talking about this crossover. And I have to say, it must have been a Herculean effort to get this comic going because you don't understand, how much effort legally this had to have been made. Not only were Viz Media and IDW probably talking to each other, you had to get into the account that, the creator of Naruto had to be talked to, the Paramount, the lawyers from Viz Media talking to the guys from also Paramount, also talking to IDW, and IDW talking to the creators of Ninja Turtles. It was a giant web to get this comic probably made. So the fact of the matter is, the fact that we have this comic at all, is nothing short of, amazing. So yeah, Chris, thank you as always, brother. So, thank you for this crossover, and thank you for the comics as always, but yeah. So what did I think of, yeah, what did I think of this comic? Well, okay. So I have to say a few things first. I'm not the biggest Naruto guy. If you guys have been on this channel, you probably know that my taste in anime is a lot different from most people. Instead of seeing, Naruto... I mean, yeah, I do talk about Dragon Ball Z and all that, but, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of, I'm not even a fan of, One Piece or Bleach, or... I did have a Naruto kick in a hyperfixation of Naruto in high school, but what kid didn't? But that dropped off after a while. Yeah, I basically am not the biggest fan of some major animes. I mean, it took me forever to get to My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan, mostly because it was just so popular. I was like, what if I don't like it? So I am I'm more of Tenchi Muyo and Black Lagoon and Hellsing, which are all popular anime, but not to the level like Naruto and the others. So, but I was curious because this was the first time we were seeing a manga crossover with a comic, at least to my knowledge. And you could say, oh, but we've had Godzilla and Ultraman meet Marvel and DC superheroes and all that. That's true, but we've never really seen a serious, non-parody version of, anime manga characters meeting comic book characters. So, again, this was kind of a big deal. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. So yeah. So how did this comic turn out? Well, okay. So I have to be honest with you. I feel like this could have should have had one more issue because this thing was a fast read. It was the same thing with Spider-Man versus Predator where it's 4 issues, and I get it. You can make a whole crossover work in 4 issues. I'm not denying that. But it also felt like it could have, much like with Spider-Man versus Predator, this comic should have absolutely had one more, at least been a 5-issue miniseries, because this goes way too damn fast. I finished it real quick. This is a 4-issue comic that, just as things are getting in, just as, things happen, they stop. That's the end of the book. Yeah. I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity that this book moves way too fast. But I will say, it's not boring. I'm not gonna, yeah, that's one of the positives here, is that this is not a boring comic at all. In no way, shape, or form, this is a boring... It's very fast-paced, which makes sense because the writer, let me look up the name, Caleb Goliner, hope I'm saying that last name right, Caleb Goliner is known for doing, he has done Ninja Turtle comics before, but he's also done, a lot of, kids comics and, high-energy books. So, and for a comic where you have ninjas fighting, other ninjas, you do have to keep fast-paced. So I do appreciate that this comic does have, that fast pace to it. I do really appreciate that this comic actually has, a rapid pace in terms of action. And the artwork is actually pretty solid too. I really do like the vibrancy of the artwork. Everything feels kinetic. It's really solid. Let me find a good image for you real fast. Yeah. like that. Like, isn't that perfect? Yeah. So I will say that if you're looking for an action-packed comic that isn't a lot, that doesn't really have a lot of story to it, yeah. But I feel like this comic could have benefited from more. And I will say though, depending on if we can get this happening again, it does feel like this comic sold buku. Like this comic sold buku money. So I'm pretty sure we'll get a sequel and maybe we'll get more with that. Like maybe we'll get other ninjas and other characters. But yeah. So let's actually get into the story. So the story is that Team 7 has been tasked with bringing April O'Neil, who is a ninja / journalist, back to her Big Apple village. Yeah, in this continuity, the ninja, it's an alternate universe where the turtles just exist in the Naruto universe rather than crossing dimensions, which I think is a kind of an interesting swing, but it also doesn't feel right. Like, having New York be a hidden ninja village and calling it the Big Apple village, it's weird because you have, like, literally in the middle, it's like all of New York is just slap dab in the middle of these mountains, and it doesn't feel natural. I mean, I appreciate the idea to it, but, like, I don't know. But on the other hand, like, how are you going to do... I mean, it's not like the Ninja Turtles haven't done cross-dimension stuff before, but, yeah. Anyway, also, like I said, I'm not the biggest Naruto guy, but, like, I'm also quite aware, like, where... This is supposed to be before Shippuden. Obviously, this is supposed to be Shippuden. This is supposed to be before Shippuden, way before Boruto. So this... But at the same time... The continuity for, if you're a diehard Naruto fan, and while I am not, so I might get things wrong, but I remember up to, like, this doesn't feel correctly in continuity for Naruto. Like, you bring up the whole thing with Sasuke mentioning Orochimaru, the whole thing that wanting him, which has been mentioned, but, like, yeah. Then there's the whole thing of, like, Naruto talks to Kurama, the fox, inside of him. That didn't happen until later in the series. And also... They have Tsunade as Hokage, but that didn't happen until Team 7 was, like, disbanded. And kind of, like, they were all doing their own thing. Then you had, like, Sakura with her training, which didn't happen until with Tsunade during Shippuden. And also, they name some, like, the names of some of the ninja techniques are completely off. Like, they don't call anything a jutsu or anything. It feels weird. Like, some of the dubbing just... it's not... It feels like it. That's what I meant to say. It feels like a bad dub of some of the fight moves. And, yeah. But the Ninja Turtles, they don't have any jutsus. They just depend on themselves. I do appreciate that we have, like, some of the characters, like Naruto and Mikey could become friends. Raph and Sakura was a cool pairing because it kind of makes sense. But yeah, we also have the whole thing that this is not Hamato Yoshi, this is Hamato Yoshi's rat, so we're kind of doing the movie continuity with the origin. And yeah, Shredder shows up, like I said, this comic moves really fast. I'm not gonna lie to you, this comic moves really fast. Like, we go to the village, we encounter Shredder, Shredder's gone, and he also turns into a mutant. Yeah, this comic just moves way too fast. Like, the second issue does have a slowdown, but that's really it, and it doesn't really feel earned either. The turtles themselves feel like all in character, and I feel like that's where Goliner, the writer, felt more at home of writing those characters. But yeah, the Naruto ones just felt kind of off, so I don't know. We also have Alopex in here, which was cool. She was so that was cool. But yeah, it really feels like the story was slapped together last minute. It was more about, I feel like it was more about getting these two titles together than an actual story. The story we do have is viable enough. It's fun. Like, I think if you're a Turtles fan and have, like, are a Naruto fan, I think you're going to be mildly impressed with this because, again, we didn't think this would ever happen. So the fact that we have this comic, it says something, but it's okay. It's definitely better than TMNT Stranger Things. It's not the worst crossover ever. So yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you think of TMNT Naruto? And Chris, thank you as always. And other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.